Hi everyone,
Hey
welcome
guys,
to our YouTube channel. I am Imelda
I'm Chris.
and we are the Annunciators. So welcome to our YouTube channel. So I did a Q&A on my Instagram and I asked you what you would like to know about us. So here we are. We're here to answer them.
And if you're new, um, this channel is for you pretty much. We're doing this to encourage other people. And if you want to hear more of our story, more of just different insight on marriage, you can like and subscribe, and we'll go from there.
Yep. So there's not very many questions. Most of them are just repeated. So we're gonna answer those. The first one is, how did you meet? So we already have a video recorded on how we met, and we're gonna put it out before our anniversary, which is next week. So we're gonna be putting that video and putting more details because it will be very long if you have to gather it all here.
It's very specific, and so we'll post that next week, and we'll just leave. You'll see the title, how we.
Hi everyone, welcome
guys.
to our YouTube channel. I am Imelda
I'm Chris.
and we are the Annunciators. So welcome to our YouTube channel. So I did a Q&A on my Instagram and I asked you what you would like to know about us. So here we are. We're here to answer them.
And if you're new, this channel is for you pretty much. We're doing this to encourage other people. And if you want to hear more of our story, more of just different insight on marriage, you can like and subscribe, and we'll go from there.
Yep. So there's not very many questions. Most of them are just repeated. So we're gonna answer those. The first one is, how did you meet? So we already have a video recorded on how we met, and we're gonna put it out before our anniversary, which is next week. So we're gonna be putting that video and putting more details because it will be very long if you have to gather it all here.
It's very specific, and so we'll post that next week, and we'll just leave. You'll see the title, how we met, or how Chris and Imelda met, and then you'll be able to you'll be able to click on that video.
Then also the next one is, do a video of how you met. Okay, we'll do that. We already said that. Then what denomination is your ministry under? So if you're new and you do not know about us, we have a ministry called 517 Ministries, and it is for mentoring and discipling boys, teenage boys, and they do counseling, Bible teaching, and now we're equipping them with skills. So Chris is mainly there, but yes, we have a ministry.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's non-denominational.
Yep.
We're not under a specific
category.
Category. Imelda comes from a Calvary here in Uganda. I come from a church in America. My church in America is just non-denominational. It's just Bible teaching. It doesn't fall under any specific. They just teach the Word of God. And so I would say our ministry kind of falls under that. But basically, it's just...
We just give them Jesus.
Yeah, we just give them the Lord, and we disciple them, and we mentor them. That's pretty much what 517 Ministries is. And so if you want to look more, we have our website, 517ministry.com. You can go there and you can find out more information on what we do as a ministry.
Yeah, then also you can follow.
We have social media pages, 517 Ministry, Facebook, Instagram, all that. So you can look us up there as well.
Then the next one is, you are missionaries, right? Tell us more. I'll let you go first because I came in as a helper.
God gave me the call of a missionary. I went on my first mission trip to Romania. I think this was back in 2011, 2010. I went to Romania with my uncle and another team, and that was my first time ever leaving the country, first time being out of America, and I just fell in love. And I knew, you have that feeling one day, you know that this is what you're going to be doing. And of course, it took me years and years to finally accept. But I had that call of being a missionary back when I was a little younger, 19, 18. But the Lord called me to Uganda I traveled a little bit. I served in Asia. I served in Kenya. Served in South America, and then I ended up in Kenya, and then I ended up here. And while I was here, I just knew instantly that this would be the place I would be, And those other places I was, it was kind of,
It was more of like short-term
short term,
relationships.
and I didn't know if I was gonna be there because wasn't so stable. I didn't know, am I gonna be here for a long time? Am I leaving in a month or two? But when I came to Uganda, in 2017, I knew, okay, this is the place that I was meant to be. This is the place that the Lord had for me all along. And so, yeah, the Lord called me here in 2017.
Yep.
And we've been here ever since.
Yeah. Then maybe, I think just a little bit, being a little bit more specific on what missionaries do. We literally just serve people and come together with a community, give them Jesus, help where we can, meet their needs and wants. But the main goal is serving Jesus and loving on his people.
Yeah. A missionary is someone who is on a mission, pretty much, right? It's someone who's on a mission to share God's word, to share the gospel. And so that's what we do, mission to preach the gospel. That's what we do. Yeah.
Then the next one is how you met. We already said we're going to do a video about that. Then how your parents reacted after finding out you're from different continents.
You can start this one. Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't directly tell my mom because we're already going to the same church as a family, and she'd heard rumor, but not from me. So it was through my friend's mom, typical African, right? But anyway, it was through my friend's mom who went and told her, oh, this guy likes Imelda, blah, 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 blah. But I think for me, my mom did. I think she didn't struggle with it.
No.
She welcomed it because
she was very open.
Yeah, I grew up with a British man, and she grew up serving and working with like different European families.
Yeah, Europeans and American missionaries that would come.
Yeah, so it wasn't a shock to her. She was kind of, okay, I've seen it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But then
she was pretty open, for sure.
She was very welcoming.
Yeah.
Whenever he would come, funny enough, whenever he would come, my mom would make you eggs.
Yeah, every time I would go to her house, she would
God.
sit me down on the stool. She would like elevate me like I was like the king coming in.
Out here.
Which I didn't want to be. I just want, just to hang out, just do what they do. But sometimes,
it's the culture.
I'm a guest. I guess, I'm a guest in your home, so you want to.
And you're the.
But she would always make
the
me.
Son
an egg. She would get. There was no fire going. She would get the fire going. She would want to make me tea. She would want to make me an egg sandwich. So I knew every time I would go there, I would have a drink and an egg sandwich.
It's just the culture.
Yeah.
Ugandans are very welcoming, and you never leave their house without having at least a drink, a glass of water. Then how did your parents react after finding out you're from different continents?
My parents, same thing. I mean, as long as I was happy, I think, as long as, I was happy in the person that I was going to do life with and marry, they were 100% on board. They didn't react in some kind of way. Of course, how's her background? Does she have parent? Mom and dad, what do they do? Just a normal,
typical get to know.
Yeah, just something like that. But they were, as long as I'm happy, we're happy, and they were 100%, and they've, took Imelda in as one of our own, and same as Imelda's family. They did the same to me. So there was no crazy, oh my gosh, I can't believe you would do this, or are you sure? It was just kind of like everything lined up correctly, and so we had no issues or no, we didn't have to jump through any hurdles for us to be in a relationship. So.
And that was such a blessing. Then the next one is share with us your testimony. I'll let you go. Yours is pretty much dramatic. Mine is.
Dramatic, wow. I'm not. If I told my whole testimony, it would be
here the whole day.
It would be in 5 videos. But I was 16, and I was raised amazing. My parents did amazing job, and they taught me all the right things. They taught me the correct path to go. I wouldn't say I was raised in a Christian home, but I was definitely raised with the values of a Christian home. They really go to church every Sunday, but just on the normal holidays. But my parents did amazing, and I had no excuse to take the path I did. But I took definitely the wrong path. Let's just say that drugs, alcohol, partying, all that, everything that revolved yourself around drugs and alcohol, I was part of it. And I started at 16, and that continued all the way till I was about 26. So about 10 years, I was just down, pretty much, right? I mean, well, you didn't know me in those days, but
but I've heard the stories.
yeah, I mean, I would do good. I would go to college. I did fine, and then I would, you know, have a season of doing bad, and then I would have a season of doing good for a couple months, and then I would get bad again. Then I had a season of doing good for a year, and then boom, one bad decision, and I was right back into the old life. And so from 16 years old to about 26, 25, 26, I was just living for the world, and I was selfish, arrogant, didn't want any help, just living for the world. And then the Lord finally intervened. Well, He intervened earlier, but I finally accepted the call.
I also think people sowed a couple seeds just speaking to you
about
the Lord.
Oh, absolutely. There was definitely, I knew the Lord for sure.
Until your heart was ready.
Definitely, because I accepted the Lord when I was 21, but I continued to relapse, do good, relapse, do good. But it became, my walk with the Lord became real after I overdosed. And when I overdosed, that was pretty much it for me. I'm like, wow, I am definitely at rock bottom. When I knew I was at the bottom of the bottom. And some people say when you're so low, all you have to do is look up. And that's what I did. And when I was 26, that's when my walk with the Lord became, I would say, really real.
So
and I took it serious.
Yeah, so maybe just sharing, if you would like to share like the details about when your life had to do like a 180 turn after you relapsed.
Right.
Yeah. Having to actually just accept the Lord.
Yeah, I woke up, I was dead for 8 seconds, and I woke up in an ambulance. And I knew at that moment the Lord gave me a second chance. And so I'm like, okay, from here on out, I'm going to do what He wants. From here on out, I'm not going to live for myself anymore. And so it was actually in the ambulance when I made that decision to completely, make a 180 and say, you know what, it's time. It's time. And I booked a plane ticket, and I went and joined a ministry somewhere in America. And joining that ministry was the best decision I've ever made. And from that day when I landed in Montana, my life hasn't been the same since. And that's when my walk with the Lord really became real, became active. It wasn't just head knowledge, it was now living out faith, living out what it means to really be a Christian.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess for me, my testimony, you can say, is very plain and bare. I got saved at the age of 7, 8. I was in P4, that is 2003.
Yeah.
And I got saved. I was going to a Christian school, so I got saved in the school chapel. And since it was a Christian school, it was easy for me to stay on top of being a Christian. But then when I joined high school, it was a very big school, Catholic, and you find all these different kinds of kids. So that's when I say backsliding, but everyone knew me as the church girl. Imelda's always talking about church and her friends, because that's where I literally hang out most of my holidays. But I think I backslid a lot when I was at campus. When I joined universities, when I started, because you're really living life as an adult, you have all this freedom, you meet all these different people, you want to try out different stuff.
Right.
And your theme is YOLO, so you're trying all these crazy things. But I still didn't go overboard of drugs, alcohol, or anything crazy, but I still backslid. And it was until 2016, 2017 is when I was like, okay, Lord, I'm done with all that. I'm done adventuring and going crazy with the world. And I got back on track. But my testimony is very plain and blunt. But yeah, that is it. Then the next question.
Can I add something to that real fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think like, oh man, you have a crazy testimony. You've been through drugs. God delivered you from drugs. You were in prison. You were a murderer. All this stuff. And God, wow, you have an amazing testimony. But what do I always tell people? They're like, oh, I didn't experience drugs. I just, I struggle with the normal, just worldly stuff. And but I said, man, but that's an amazing testimony in itself, because the Lord, like, you didn't give in to that stuff. You know what I mean? And like, that's a testimony in itself. And a lot of people think that it's boring, like you said, it's bland, it's blank, but truthfully, like, I always look at people like that and like, wow, like, I wish I had that testimony, because, the Lord shielded you and the Lord protected you, and you decided to not give in, and you had strength and courage through that season. So, don't think because you didn't go through all the crazy stuff that you don't have a good testimony.
Yep.
Because truthfully, we all have a story. We all have something to share, and the Lord can use it for the good. So. Yeah.
That is really touching. Anyway, the next one is, how did you meet? We said we were gonna answer that. Then the next one is the whole process: dating, meeting parents, marriage, why you chose Uganda. So let's break down the first one. Let's start with the first one, the whole process, dating.
Yeah, I was working for a ministry where we receive interns, and I was leading them. And they, at the beginning of their time, when they turned in their contract, turned in their paperwork, they dedicate a full year to serving the Lord. So no relationships. If you're in a relationship, you have to lay it down. And not that the ministry didn't want you to be in a relationship. It wasn't about that. It was like
the commitment.
Yeah, you're dedicating this year to the Lord and growing yourself in the Lord. And so when we met, I was still working for this ministry, and so I had to.
You'd committed 6 months.
Yeah, we were attracted to each other. We started building a friendship, and then we laid our relationship down for 6 months, because I was still leading a team, and at the same time, you don't want to just be attracted to the person just because of their looks, or you get we call them butterflies, and so you want to be really sure. And so we prayed. I think Imelda fasted for 6 months. She didn't fast for 6 months.
No, not for 6 months. Like within the window of 6 months.
But so we laid it down for 6 months, and then after that 6 months, we still had the same feelings for one another, and that's when we started dating. I asked her to be my girlfriend, made it official, made it serious, and that's when we started, talking, build a stronger relationship.
But even when we laid down the relationship, both our pastors on both sides, his pastor from America and my pastor here, my spiritual dad here, knew that we're interested in each other. So we weren't like hiding, and the people of the church knew, but it was nothing, I would say, serious, to avoid all the distraction while he was leading the team here.
Right.
Then the other one is meeting parents. We talked about how
I met Imelda. I already knew the mom, because I already knew her mom because we were working at the church, serving at the church, and her mom was a big part of the church and still is. And so I already knew who her mom was, so we had a relationship already.
Yeah.
She didn't know that I liked her daughter though at the time. But and then she met my parents. My parents came for the conjula, the introduction. And
I was very nervous because here, the Ugandan culture, there's the fear or the insecurity of meeting your mother-in-law. So I was always like, oh my God, what is she gonna be like? Is she gonna like me?
Yeah,
but it's different in the American culture.
Yeah, here I wasn't even allowed to talk with her mom, look her in her eyes, give her a hug. But the American culture is like, no, come in, come on, give me a hug. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're welcome. You know. And so for her, I think it was nervous because she's like, am I going to be accepted? But you know, our culture is so accepting, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just like, no, come, you're already part of our family, and so that's when she met my mom, my dad, and my younger brother came for the introduction, and then they also came again
For the wedding.
a couple months later for our wedding as well. So she was able to at least meet them and start
Yeah.
building a relationship with
But
them.
I had talked to them on FaceTime with you.
Yeah,
A couple
yeah,
times.
yeah.
So,
Talked on the phone and stuff like that too before. Yeah.
yeah.
So.
And it says marriage. This is really broad. I don't know what you'd like us to talk about marriage, but
Mhm.
this is what the channel is for: interracial marriages, the
Right.
cultural differences,
Right.
and
I
a
think we're gonna
godly
do like specific topics on marriage, like as different videos come out, and we're gonna talk more in detail about what this marriage is and like
Yeah.
how to go through different things. Not that we have all the answers, you know, but just sharing the
with a biblical view, like
Yeah.
what the Bible says about
Yeah.
marriage and our
But we've been
experiences
married.
too.
Actually, next week is our 4-year anniversary,
Anniversary.
and so we've been married for 4 years, and we've of course gone through our ups and our downs. And but I proposed to her in 2018, and that'll be talked more about in the how we met as well,
Yeah,
right?
there's like more details in there.
Yeah, but like I said, as time goes, we'll be talking more about marriage and, of course, having different guests on and really diving into their experience. Have different, you know, interracial marriages
Yeah.
and people that have been married for 20 years, people who have been married
30
for
years.
1 year, just so we all over the board, because you never know what this channel can do and who it can
Yeah.
reach. So
And they're always learning.
yeah, for sure.
Then the next one is why you choose Uganda. Honestly,
Why'd you choose Uganda?
yeah, right. I was born in Uganda, so I didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess for us as a couple, it's upon God, because I cannot say we chose Uganda because I'm from Uganda. 'Cause
Right.
we've served in Kenya before.
Right. Yeah.
So-
And she spent a good amount of time in it. She spent 3 months in America, and in the season of if we didn't know what we were gonna do.
Yeah.
And so, but I would definitely say in 2000 and when we came back after spending the 3 months in America
2019.
and
We came back in 2020 actually.
Really?
Yeah, before the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, no. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so but I would say in 2019 we really knew, okay, this is the place we're gonna be
Yeah.
for sure. You know what I mean? Like the Lord gave us a vision for ministry. This is what we believe we want to do, and so I would say we didn't really choose Uganda. I would say the Lord revealed to us
that
we needed to be in Uganda. Yeah, I think that's a better way to put it.
It was in a period of transition for us. We're from Kenya. We had
Right.
been in Kenya for 6 months.
Right.
Then we came back to Uganda.
Right.
And that's when we're like, okay, this is it. But how are we going to do it?
Right.
And are we sure?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So,
But I'm glad that we stayed. I'm glad that we have. Now it's been what, 4 years, 3 years? Yeah, 3 years. 3 years since we started our ministry, and we really made
2 years. 2 years coming to 3.
Right, almost 3 years that we have laid down, you know, roots, you know, and this is where we'll be. This is where we'll be for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the next one is, have you ever stayed in America? I guess that was to me, and you've kind of answered it. Yes, I have stayed in America. I would say visit,
Yeah.
not stayed.
Yeah.
I've visited America twice.
Right.
Well, the first time was for a month.
Right.
Then the next time was the long one that he stayed for 3 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have visited America. And then the last one is, how did you meet? We already said we're gonna answer that in another video. But thank you for all your questions. I don't know if you have anything else to say.
Not really. We just are grateful for you and grateful for, and also too, if you can comment on the channel below, and if you want to know anything else. Honestly, this channel, it's not for us really. I mean, it's for people like you, you know. And so, if you want to know anything, if you have a question about anything, we'll do our best to answer. Like I say, we don't have all the answers. But yeah, I mean, if you want to ask a question, please comment below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
And share with your friends
yeah.
too. Tell them to come,
Yeah.
be a part of this community. We're gonna be learning together,
Yeah.
sharing knowledge together, and
Yeah, definitely.
be a part of all the fun.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bless you.